Jennifer with Live, Laugh, Love to Read. And today we're going to talk about my new book haul. And I get most of my books at either Goodwill or the thrift store, garage sales, and there's a really good used bookstore about 30 minutes away. It's called Gardner's, and it's the largest bookstore, or used bookstore, in Oklahoma. And I'm really lucky to live like 30 minutes from it. And it's really cool because you go and you can take a whole bag of books, turn them in, and then when you check out, they take the price of the book off your credit, and then you pay $1 for each book that you got, basically for the tax. So it's actually a really good deal. I mean, because books are expensive, right? Yeah. And then I read a lot of books online. So I read books on my library ebook through the library. And then I get books from the library. Amazon Prime, if they're free. And then I also order books on eBay through like thrift books or discount books or whatever. So yeah, let's get started. The first book I picked up was The Secrets She Keeps by Deb Caletti. I've never even heard of this author. The picture on the front caught my attention. I thought it looked good. I read the back of it at Gardner's. That's where I got it. There's a sticker. And let's just read it. It says, "You don't grow up on a divorce ranch and not learn to take a vow seriously." When Callie McBride finds a woman's phone number written on a scrap of paper her husband has thrown away, she thinks that her marriage is over. Callie flees to Nevada and her Aunt Nash's Tamarosa Ranch, where she's shocked to see that the place of so many happy childhood memories is in disrepair. Worse, Aunt Nash is acting bizarrely, hoarding stacks of old photographs, burying a book in the yard, and railing against Kit Covey, a handsome government park ranger who piques Callie's interest. But Aunt Nash may prove to be saner than she seems once Callie pulls back the curtain on Tamarosa's heyday, the 1940s and 50s, when high society and Hollywood women ventured to the ranch for quickie divorces and found a unique sisterhood, and uncover a secret promise Nash made to her true love. Callie will come to see is that no life is ever ordinary. No story of love is either. So, I thought it sounded kind of good. Now that I'm reading the back of it again, I don't know. It probably won't be on the top of my TBR list, but, picked it up and we'll see. The next one I picked up was SeaShell Season by Holly Chamberlin. And I have read Holly Chamberlin books before, and she's kind of a hit and miss for me. But I got this one at, I think I got it at Goodwill. Yep. Goodwill puts their prices on the inside right there. So that's how I know where I got it. And let's just read the back. Every year on March 26th, Verity Peterson visits, I have no idea how to say this, Ogunquit Beach, where she puts a handwritten message into a bottle and launches it into the waves. It's a ritual of remembrance for the daughter she hasn't seen in 16 years, not since her baby's father, Alan, took 2-month-old Gemma and disappeared. Verity keeps searching and hoping, sustained by the thought that someday she might get to be a mother to her own child. And finally, one phone call may change everything. Verity learns that Alan is now in jail on abduction charges, and Marnie Armstrong, born Gemma Peterson Burns, is coming to live with Verity in Yorktide, Maine. But this isn't the joyful reunion Verity imagined. Gemma has been raised to believe Verity was an unfit mother who left Alan no choice but to take her out of harm's way. Over the course of one summer, Verity tries to reach a tough, wary young woman who's more stranger than daughter. I thought that sounded really good. So that was the second one that I got. And the next one I got was Between Friends by Kristy Kiernan. And I have never seen this author before. Have you seen this author? Have you read anything by her? Let me know in the comment section below. Says, her fiction is beautifully told, says Lorna Landvik, which I have read some of her books. Jacqueline Mitchard calls it good and true and real. There was a time when Ali Gutierrez would have been forced to give up on her dreams of motherhood. But thanks to modern reproductive technology and the gift of her best friend Cora's eggs, Ali is the mother of 14-year-old Letty. Now yearning for a second child, Ali asked her best friend's permission to use another of the frozen embryos that have been stored away in anticipation of this decision. But Cora has a secret that could change Ali's plans for the future and tear apart her life right now. Ooh. I thought that sounded really good. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so this book I got on eBay from Thrift Books, and it is Somewhere Out There by Amy Atvany. And I have read several of Amy's books before. I really enjoy her books. And so I think the first one I read on the library site, like the free ebooks, and then I looked and they didn't have any more of her books. So I started looking for her books. I've, all my different haunts, Goodwill and Gardeners and all that. Couldn't find any more of her books. So, and I knew she had more because I'd looked her up. So I ordered this one on Thrift Books on eBay. And I think I paid $3.99. And they run I buy a lot of books from Thrift Books. They run a special a lot of times. If you buy 4, then you save like 15% or something. So I think I paid after the sale percentage was off, was like $3.59 or something, which ain't bad for a book, But this one is about 2 little girls are given up by their young mother. One is quickly adopted by a loving family, while the other spends her childhood in and out of foster homes. What happens to these sisters and how they reunite to find the woman who walked away from them 35 years ago is the gripping story told in Somewhere Out There. I thought that sounded really good. That will probably go in my TBR pile. Sounded really good. Have you read this author? If you haven't, you really need to pick some of hers up because I really enjoy her books. They're pretty good. Okay, the next one I got was Family Pictures by Jane Green. And I have read quite a few of books by Jane Green. I enjoy her. And I got this one on, I'm pretty sure I ordered same time as that last one from Thrift Books. So this one is about Sylvie and Maggie, who are 2 women living on opposite coasts with children about to leave the nest for school. Both are in their 40s with husbands who travel more than either would like. The looming emptiness of their respected homes has left them feeling anxious and lonely, needing their husbands to be home now more than ever. It isn't until Eve, Sylvie's daughter, happens to befriend Maggie's daughter that the similarities between these 2 women become shockingly real. A huge secret has remained well hidden for years until now, and their lives will be blown apart as dark truths from the past come to the surface. Can these 2 women learn to forgive for the sake of their children, for themselves? Ooh. And the reason I think this grabbed me was I'm an empty nester. My daughter's 26. And I remember, I want to say she was 20 when she left home. But I remember those feelings of, it's like, your children are supposed to grow up. But when they actually do and they leave home, it's heartbreaking. And when she left, she would call me crying. She was homesick. I was homesick for her to be gone. I wanted her home. But then again, I'm like, no, I know this is good for her. Because she's very mature. She's very, she's such a good kid. And I knew it was time. But it was so hard. Yeah. But now I'm over that. Because she is 26 now. So I've learned that, she has her own life and all that. And yeah, very proud of her. So the next book I picked up was The Hypnotist Love Story by Liane Moriarty. And I have read some of Liane's books before, and I do like her. I want to say I got this one at Goodwill. And this is a book that you see, or I do. I see it quite often, like at Goodwill or, thrift store or whatever. I don't know why I haven't picked it up before now. But anyway, I picked it up. And it's about Ellen O'Harrell. She's a professional hypnotherapist who works out of the eccentric beach home she inherited from her grandparents. It's a nice life except for her relationship history. She's stoic about it, but at this point, Ellen wouldn't mind something long term. When she meets Patrick, she's optimistic. He's attractive, single, employed, and best of all, he seems to like her back. Then comes that dreaded moment. He thinks they should have a talk. Braced for the worst, Ellen is pleasantly surprised. It turns out that Patrick's ex-girlfriend is stalking him. Ellen thinks, actually, that's kind of interesting. She's dating someone worth stalking? She's intrigued. In fact, she'd even love to meet her. Ellen doesn't know it, but she already has. And this sounds really familiar. I might have already read this. It does. It sounds really familiar. I might have already read this, but that's okay. I have a little free library out in my yard. And so if I have already read it, like if I start to read it and I'm like, I've already read this, I just take it right out to the little free library. If you don't know what little free libraries are, they are free book exchanges. And you put a book in, you take a book out. Totally free. There's no rules. And yeah, I have one in my front yard with kids' books and children's books in it. And I try to keep it rotated out quite a bit. And you can see I don't know if you can see it, but I have a lot of books. So yeah, I try to keep them rotated out. And I have another YouTube channel where I read children's books called Read Along with Aunt Ninny. And so I read the children's books. I stamp them with my stamp that says, did you know you could watch Aunt Ninny read this book? So yeah, and then I put them in the little free library. And I live by an elementary school. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, the next book I got was Bodies of Water by T. Greenwood. And I got this one, Thrift Books. Because I just bought 4 books from Thrift Books, and this was one of them. And I love T. Greenwood's books. And I've only read, I think, 2. And I think I have another one coming in the mail. But anyway, this one sounded really good. Bodies of Water is no ordinary love story, but a book of astonishing precision, lyrically told, raw in its honesty, and gentle in its unfolding. T. Greenwood has rendered a compassionate story of people who are healed and destroyed by love, by alcoholism, by secrets and betrayal. Yet she offers us a certain shade of hope that soulmates can and do find each other. 1960, Billie Valentine is a young housewife living in a sleepy Massachusetts suburb, treading water in a dull marriage and caring for 2 adopted daughters. Summers spent with the girls at their lakeside camp in Vermont are her one escape from her husband's demands, from days consumed by household drudgery, and from the nagging suspicion that life was supposed to hold something different. I thought it sounded really good. Yeah. I just read a couple of her other ones. I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, that looks really good. That's going to go in my TBR probably for next month. Yeah. And now we're going to talk about what book am I reading right now. So excited about this book. I waited for over a year because I have read all of her books, and usually the library has them. Nope, didn't have this one. And then ebooks. Nope, they didn't have it on an ebook. And I on our library site, you can recommend that they buy a book, and a lot of times they do. Nope, they didn't buy this one. So I waited and waited and waited, and it never did come up. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to have to buy it. Just going to have to buy it. And this is what it is. The Man She Married by Cathy Lamb. Yeah, I love all of Cathy Lamb's books. So this one's not new. It came out, I think, last year. Let's see. Let's look. Yep, 2018. But I'm reading it right now, and I'm on chapter 6, and part 2. And let me just read you the front, because it is so good already. When Natalie Shelton thinks back to how things were before the car accident, she remembers a great marriage. She and her husband Zach seem as strong and dependable together as the houses he builds. They live in Portland, Oregon, and Natalie is co-owner of a successful accounting firm. They're happy. She's almost sure of it. Yet, as Natalie lies trapped in a coma, unable to communicate, though aware of everything around her, she realizes that her husband is hiding something. That's all I'm going to read. Because I don't want to give anything away. Excuse me. But she's in a coma. And she can hear everything that people are saying. Her dad just, sings to her. And she can hear everything. But it's like she's trapped in her body. Excuse me. She's trapped in her body. And she describes it as almost like drowning without the water. Oh, yeah. Anyway, but she's like, they're like, can you squeeze my hand? And she's like, I am. But she's not. This is good so far. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, if you haven't read Cathy Lamb books, let me tell you how many she's got. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is the 12th one, and she has another one coming out later on this year. But let me just tell you which one she has. Julia's Chocolates, The Last Time I Was Me, Henry's Sisters, Such a Pretty Face, The First Day of the Rest of My Life, A Different Kind of Normal, If You Could See What I See, What I Remember Most, My Very Best Friend, The Language of Sisters, No Place I'd Rather Be. And yes, I have read all of those, and if I can get my hands on, I don't know if I still have them. Probably not, but the library might have them. But anyway, I'll do a video about them because her books are awesome. Anyway, that was my recent haul that I just bought, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and be sure to check back because I will be having more videos coming your way. Thank you. Bye-bye.